Tassos, over to you. I don't know what to do. I can't even look him in the eye.
Next
can't
guest
even look him in the eye.
is the acting superstar who sets screens alight and pulses racing, and never more so than in the riveting, raunchy Rivals. So please welcome the quick learner, high earner, hotter than a Bunsen burner, Aidan Turner.
Yes, here he is, Aidan Turner. Good morning, Aidan Turner.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Well, more to the point, how are you? It's nice to see you.
I'm really good. It's nice to come in here and see familiar faces.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. Well, we were looking to see a few familiar faces last night, weren't we, on our TV screens? And we saw a few familiar everythings. Also, not familiar everythings. And this show, Aidan.
Yes.
It's over to you. I don't know what do you want to say about it?
I'm starting to get a little nervous now. I am blushing because I've just realised how naughty the show can get, and that my mum is going.
You've only just you were there when it's being filmed, man.
I know, but you put it to the back of your head, and you're doing press, and you're talking about these things. But it got very real this morning when I woke up, and I thought my entire family are going to see things that they haven't seen in a very long time.
Blimey! All right, so let's frame it for people. I was watching American Hustle.
Oh yeah.
Last Saturday, we were rewatching American Hustle, and the great thing about American Hustle is, you're in it. That's the good thing about, I think, good films. You don't watch them; you're sort of in them. Right. You don't realise what time it is. You don't want to go for a wee anymore, even at my age. All that kind of stuff. And American Hustle gets you in there. And I thought, this is because American Hustle is the 70s. This is the 80s. We're in there. We're immersed in it. Those of us who can remember it think we can smell it.
Right. I mean, it's. I don't know. Do you remember this? The exciting and ruthless world of independent television.
100%.
Right. I mean, it's. Yeah. I mean, that's the backdrop. It's and the plot, and it's incredibly exciting. But yes, there's a lot more going on than that. I mean, my character at the very beginning, we see him anchoring a very serious, sort of highbrow political talk show
on the BBC.
On the BBC, it's cigarettes and it's smoky and it's very serious and all that kind of thing. And they have to leave, himself and his family have to leave London in quite a rush, and they head for the Cotswolds. And then he's approached by Lord Banningham, David Tennant's character, with a lot of money. He's solicited, and he's offered a job to host a chat show and talk to actors and people like that, which he's not really into, but he does it.
He's seduced, he's tempted beyond that which he can resist to jump ship from the pre-recorded political BBC to the free-reign live world of
ITV
independent television.
Yeah, exactly that.
All right, okay.
Exactly that.
And so David Tennant's character.
Yes.
Now, I'm thinking Michael Grade.
Right.
David Frost and Roger Moore.
I think that's really good. You'd have to ask him. Yeah, but I think, I mean, he's amazing in this show.
Yeah.
He's always so good. He's a force. I mean, it's crazy too. I mean, you kind of think, I don't think he ever doesn't work. I mean, last week he's Macbeth, and he's phenomenal in that. Yes, he's an amalgamation of a lot of brilliant characters.
He's got the
braces. Him really well. He's got the braces.
The big fat cigar.
He has that, and he's not a benevolent character, I would say. Sure.
Having worked for Michael Grade, who is a benevolent character.
Yes.
Michael is like, he looks after you. He takes you under his wing. Now, the thing about being in Michael Grade's company, Michael Grade used to run the BBC. He used to run ITV for fun. He then took over Rank Cinemas. Michael Grade is an absolute rock star of our business. His dad was Lord Lou Grade, blah, blah, blah. And the thing about being in Michael Grade's company is he was more entertaining than any of his stars or clients, because, of course, he was an agent as well. He was a showbiz agent.
It's a lot of power.
And you get that with David's character.
You do. He seduces almost all of the characters, and you can't turn him down, even though you're stepping into the Dark Lord's lair. He just has this quality, and I think some of the great people kind of do sometimes. They can seduce you and they can fire you at the same time.
Especially with an old-fashioned checkbook and an actual check.
It does work to see the numbers, doesn't it?
So he writes out a check to your character in the annals of the BBC. He's waiting for him when he flounces out of this pre-recorded interview where he's not allowed to ask the questions he wants to ask to a politician that he knows is a ne'er-do-well. What happens next?
Well, can I tell you what happens next? I mean, yes, he does. He takes him up on the offer, and he then starts to host this chat show on a sofa, and it's difficult for him because he wants to be taken seriously. I mean, hence the moustache. He's only 41, but he's in a world of older people.
Moustache.
It ages me. It really does. It's good. It works. It's model's own too.
Yeah.
No stick on there.
So your character is, I mean, tell us about him, tell us about his wife, tell us about his children.
Yeah, well, they're Irish. He lived in Ireland for a long time, travelled to the UK, worked on the show for a long time. He is a character who wants to be taken seriously. He's motivated by politics and culture and these kind of things. And when he suddenly is thrown onto this chat show, I think he's uncomfortable with it. You know, he doesn't know how to talk to actors and or media people or you know, people that wouldn't share his sort of common the things that they have in common. So yes, they're in the Cotswolds. They're in this weird world. I mean, the dynamics between a lot of these characters, I think he's wary of this world, right. You know, and he's Irish too, and it's very different to be suddenly like jettisoned into the Cotswolds and to see how people live their lives. You know, they're all kind of jumping into bed with one another. Everything is transactional. It might be sex or money or whatever it is. People get what they want.
I forgot about that bit. We've been doing so well, weren't we?
We were doing very well.
Oh my gosh. So I've talked about David Frost being part of the hybrid characteristics of this sort of media mogul David Tennant character, but David Frost, the interviewer, he had a bit of what your character's got going on.
He did. I mean, my character is an amalgamation of a lot of different...
But the political going to showbiz thing.
Right, he had that too, yeah. I mean, sure, he definitely did. I mean, Frost, I pinched a little bit from with Declan. There was a lot. I mean, somebody else, the show I love to watch, The Firing Line, William F. Buckley show on it's a 1968 thing, and ran for quite a long time. There's a great documentary, Best of Enemies, with himself, William F. Buckley, battling Gore Vidal. Similar kind of world to, I think, Declan would have imagined myself in at the time of the 80s. So, but yeah, there was a lot of different presenters I sort of stole from, some contemporary, some not so much. Dave Allen was somebody I kind of looked at.
Of course, Dave Allen.
The brilliant Dave Allen. Buckley would have been one. Who else do we have in there? There's a bit of Norton in there too. There's a lot. But
by the way, you just did a quick Graham Norton for us then, didn't you?
Did I? I don't know. I don't know. If you live on these documentaries. I
bet you're a great mimic, aren't you?
Well, I don't know. Don't put me on the spot now.
Is there any Des O'Connor in there? Because he ended up doing that show.
There's a little bit of Des O'Connor in there as well. Des did that show, didn't he? Yeah, he did. He had a similar thing.
Des O'Connor's show, because everybody talks about Graham Norton and Terry Wogan and Jonathan Ross, and quite right too, and Parky and all that kind of good stuff. But the really big, fat, popular ITV talk show was Des O'Connor, Wednesday night, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, he was brilliant. How long did that show run for?
Yeah, I mean, 20 years.
Right.
Something like that.
The time, yeah. But some of the American ones were great too. And then there was just, that's the presenting side of stuff. And then I sort of dipped into... So sort of my dad's personality for Declan also. I base my accent on my dad's accent. Declan, the character, is a Wicklow man. I didn't really know how to do a Wicklow accent. I didn't want to get it wrong. My dad is a Midlands man, so it's a flatter sort of tones that they would have, and there's sort of an earthy feel to his accent that I wanted to dip into for it. And my dad had a wicked handlebar moustache for 20 years, so I thought, he's the guy. I'm going to base it on him. I'm going to walk and talk like him.
What's also interesting about the show and about those times is that if you made it big at all, whether it was in music or whether it was on the telly or in movies, you didn't get paid anywhere near as much as some of the people get paid today, but the big stuff was cheaper. So if you had a single hit album, you could buy a mansion or a country estate in, let's say Buckinghamshire or Berkshire, and that's sort of what your character does. He gets the one check and he buys like the biggest house in the world because that's how they used to roll.
Yeah, that he can't afford to renovate, but it looks really impressive. Yeah.
Yeah. Where was that?
That was a place called Chavenage House. Right. That I've actually shot in before. I mean, a lot of these locations, it's happened recently on a different job where I've been shooting in an old house for weeks and then realised I shot something else there 6 years prior. I mean, these places tend to come back around again. Yeah, their heritage or whatever. They tend to kind of do the loop.
And Disney Plus. I mean, this is there's Mickey Mouse. There's Donald Duck.
There is.
For heaven's sake. There's Pixar. There's Woody.
Yep.
Yep. And then there's this, and it's got Disney. It has the Disney name.
We have the Disney name. I mean, it goes out today also on Hulu, which is a Disney. Yeah. And in the Disney family.
More like Wooloo, where your show's concerned, isn't it? It says here. Apparently, you have said out loud and tried to keep a straight face while you're saying it.
Oh dear.
Aidan says, even if you're prudish, I think you'll be into this show.
Did I say that?
Well, good luck with that.
Wow.
One.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I take that back. I don't know. Look, there's a lot of different. There's nudity and different types of sex in our show, but it's a lot of the sex is fun. It's not all like steamy, passionate. Like let's jump behind the couch because Mama's watching it with us. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's
funny.
It's all the fun and it's funny.
Yes.
So I don't really know where to go next because I've not seen episode 2.
Yeah.
I'm sort of scared because if the start of episode 1, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen a show start like that ever.
Right.
I think I might have seen a film like that, but I can't remember what. I'm just thinking I must have done. Definitely never seen a TV show finish like yours starts.
Right.
But then how it ends is 1000x to the start, and this is episode 1.
Yeah.
Can you give us a kind of taste, a kind of inkling, a chinkling of what might go on in for the rest of the show?
I suppose I can. I mean, what I love about this show is that look, it's a thing actors say, isn't it? But this is the truth. It just gets better and better as the series goes on. We have 8 episodes. The stories get funnier and they expand.
Outrageous? It has to be outrageous.
It's pretty outrageous, but I think something we did really well in our show too is that we all just got the tone very early, and that doesn't always happen, you know. You can get some actors don't quite get the thing that's going on, or the way the show is put together. It works on the page, but doesn't translate when you get to the studio.
Yes, that's interesting.
We just all got it. We got it straight away, and it doesn't always come off the page in the same way, but we just did. And I think that's something that you see in the show. It's a show that really knows what it is.
Right, and there are capers and there are garden parties.
There's lots of soirees, and yes, that we very early in the shoot actually we got an opportunity to hang out with Jilly Cooper at her house in the Cotswolds.
Obviously, you've just dropped her name in there.
I have.
Why might you be doing that?
Why might I be doing that? Well, this show was Jilly Cooper's Rivals. It's based on her book.
So it is Jilly Cooper's Rivals.
It is Jilly Cooper's Rivals.
Is it the Jilly Cooper Rivals?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So the first book was Riders. We haven't done that. We're jumping to the second novel.
Sure?
We're going straight into number 2.
I thought you might have done. I really did. No, because I haven't read that book. I mean, this is the thing. This is
her second novel, Rivals. Yeah.
Oh, so you started at number 2.
We're starting at number 2.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It is interesting.
All right. So you might.
I mean, look.
Who knows?
Sure, we could do.
Is it a multi-series deal?
There's there's many books that Jilly has written in the Rutcher Chronicles. So it could go on. Yeah, there's a lot of material there for sure.
Are you?
I mean,
but judging from the first episode,
yeah, I mean, it looks like we're all up for all of it, right?
I would say so.
I would probably say so too, but yeah, we have to see how this one goes first, I suppose. People need to get Disney Plus and watch it.
But what a gang! I mean, what a gang! I mean, there are so many people in it: Danny Dyer, Claire Rushbrook, Catherine Parkinson, the brilliant Emily Attack, David Tennant, Alex Hassel, your good self,
Lisa McGrillis, Nafisa Williams. Yeah, it goes on and on.
Just all good in the hood. That's what you've seen it. How you watched it with your wife?
Yes, I did.
The only blessing was I watched it on my own.
Okay, that's good.
That was the only blessing. Go on.
So, I mean, the thing you say about being right in the middle of the 80s, and Aidan, you might be a bit too young to remember all this stuff, but I watched it. The first thing I want to do is go to a restaurant and order a prawn cocktail. I mean, just everything.
Hang on a minute. You watched episode 1 and the first thing you want to do is go...
No.
I don't believe you.
Hold on a second. What's going on here?
Well, let's not go there.
All right.
But I was just, 80s-ing it up a bit.
Focus on the truth, that's all.
But, for instance...
Come on.
Like, one of the memorable scenes that we can talk about is... They're at a big garden party outside a lavish Cotswold house, and they're all doing the Birdie song.
Oh, no, that's good, that bit. I like the soundtrack, by the way, is off the chain.
Soundtrack is amazing.
So good.
Soundtrack is off the chain.
Yeah. The Birdie dance, that morning was quite weird for us. That was the morning after the Jilly Cooper party the night before.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you were in the mood anyway?
We were in the mood anyway, and many of us came straight from the party to the set.
You shut up, did you?
Yeah, we did. We really did. So
that was all right?
That's real sweat during the Birdie dance.
And so obviously the director knew that this was going to be okay because you didn't have to do any sort of close-ups or...
I don't think anybody thought it was okay. I don't think it was ever okay for us to do that. I think carriages were at midnight and we just missed all that and we just jumped in a car at 3:30 in the morning.
That Jilly was having the party.
Everyone knew Jilly was having the party, but I think people thought Jilly might wrap the party up at 11. That did not happen.
Jilly don't wrap parties.
She doesn't finish a party at 11 o'clock, no. It went on and on.
Was it at her house?
It was at her house,
What's that like?
It's
don't give me too
idyllic.
much away.
Well, that's exactly what you would expect it to be.
Honestly.
It's honestly, and we can see she would point out in the garden where she would write her books.
Getting goosebumps.
It was really special.
Are there gates? There
are gates, and there's a beautiful stone house and a gorgeous garden, and it's hilly, and she's pointing out all the different houses in the distance and who's whose houses the characters would be in, and blah blah blah. Yeah, amazing. Really, really special moment actually. Yeah. But that day is traumatized.
I hadn't thought of the Birdie song since.
With a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and shake whatever you like.
How long did that hang around for? That was that just a couple of years, that the Birdie dance thing?
I guess
was it a real
but I
fad?
hadn't thought of it since then. And then the people had done that. Had you even heard that song?
I heard of the Birdie dance, and it would pop up from time to time on TV and different things. But I don't. Yeah, why the craze though? And where did it start? And was everyone doing
number
it?
one, I think.
Was this in the nightclubs? People were doing it at the end of the night.
You had no choice. Very big at weddings.
Right. Kind of like the Macarena kind of thing. I remember that.
Well, there was that. There was Nelly the Elephant. Do you remember that?
Nope.
Oh, Nelly the Elephant. Back to trunk and say goodbye to the circus.
Stuff. She went,
Yeah, there's Star Trek. Do you remember that one? Star Trekking across the universe. It's all part of the same thing.
It
and
is,
then I think Jive Bunny came in hot on the heels of the Birdie dance.
Yeah, and Spitting Image did a song, Hold a Chicken in the Air, Stick a Deck Chair Up Your Nose.
Yeah, let's leave that one there, Vassal. You don't want to be singing that one out. That's a very interesting way to hand in your resignation. I know that's not that one.
I think that one's all right.
Yeah, no, the other one was. I'm not even going to say it. I know the title. I'm about to do what I was accused of doing. So, yes, of course, because at the tender age of just 41, young man.
Yes.
You were barely.
Well, I was born in '83, so I suppose, does that make me an '80s kid? I feel like I'm a '90s kid.
Do you like that song, Video Kill the Radio Star?
I know it. Yeah, I love it.
4 years before you.
Get out.
1979.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Video Kill the Radio
Yeah,
Star.
the music was good then, wasn't it?
Your car, your little mini Clubman.
Yeah, it's a little mini Clubman.
Where's that now?
Where is that now?
I have an all too keen interest in movie motoring memorabilia, especially if it's available to be bought.
Yes. Have you ever driven one of those cars?
Yes, I have. Not that one though.
Right. Interesting, right?
Dodge.
It's Dodge. You're just so low to the ground, and it's so loud. I mean, there's nothing separating your feet from the pavement.
Or the engine.
Or the
should anything
engine.
go wrong.
Right.
That was the problem there.
It doesn't feel very safe.
You pack your whole family up, and they're not a small family. I mean, there's not a lot of them, but
there's 4 of us.
Yeah, but you got sort of grown-up daughters.
Yeah.
You pack all your belongings and yourselves into the little mini traveller.
We do, but we make it work. Yeah.
God bless you. God bless you.
Yeah.
As a gang, how long were you together for?
As a gang, I want to say 5 months, maybe. I think.
See, now that's proper, isn't it? Because movies don't take that long to make anymore.
They don't. No, we've 8 hours here. I want to say it's 5 months. Maybe it's a little less.
So you've got to get on, otherwise you've got to vote somebody off, haven't you? Really?
That's the kind of thing. Yeah, but we were lucky in this shoot too because it's a big ensemble. There's no one actor on every day, all day, in all the scenes, doing all the stuff, all the heavy lifting. We're sharing these things, so you might have 3 or 4 days on and maybe 2 or 3 off where you go back to London, and it was enjoyable in that way. We could all sort of keep the energy up for the whole shoot.
Says here, Aidan Turner says here, and Aidan Turner's here to tell us whether he actually said this or not. Aidan Turner said of his role, it came around at a time in my career when I wanted to do something like this. I wanted to have fun in a show. I wanted to be in an ensemble with really good funny actors, and I really wanted to share that platform. Of course, Poldark was not dissimilar, I would imagine.
In what sense?
From being a gang show.
Well, kind of like a gang show, but not also. I mean, I'm the titled character. It's Poldark, and you're number 1 on the call sheet. And obviously, Eleanor too did as much lifting as I did. But after us two, I mean, there's less. Line for line.
It was pretty Lionel Messi and the goalkeeper.
There's a sense of that. I mean, I'm in most of the scenes. I didn't have a day off ever. Maybe one day off, and that's for press. So this is very different. You have later calls, and those things kind of matter too because you're excited to come into work every day and not just exhausted.
Tom Courtenay famously, every time he makes a movie, he learns a different skill. Oh, because there's a lot of downtime, isn't there? There can
be a bit of downtime.
How do you while away the hours in the trailer?
Do you know what? This is the first time ever on a job where I would just hang out with the cast. You just bounce around trailers. We shot during the summer, so the weather was amazing. We had big dining tables where we'd have al fresco lunches. So we would just
and you get paid. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
It's silly. Yeah.
We come in here yesterday afternoon. We got together with our friends at 6:30 in the morning to have some fun, listen to some music. Get paid, go home and have to watch your show for our job, and then we got it this morning. We did the same thing again. It's ridiculous. It's not fair.
It's not easy.
It's not. no, it's actually not easy. But we can't have that conversation.
Sure.
Because
it is not fair. I mean, yes, there are some elements of our job that just they don't feel fair sometimes. We're very lucky people.
Well, all of our job never feels fair, does it?
Speaking of those lunches, you had your alfresco lunches, and I didn't really think the 80s long liquid lunches were a thing, but my goodness me, you had one in episode 1.
Yeah. I was speaking to someone lately who said, a journalist who watched the first episode with their kid, and their kid is about 13 or 14, said, Mum, did people really drink champagne at lunchtime?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they still do. The best ones still do. But yeah, there's a lot of boozing. I mean, it's the whiskies at 11:30 in the morning that I still think.
And the rest.
Oof.
So when did you wrap this show?
Oh, when did we wrap it? Well, quite not. What are we in now? October. A year ago.
Right.
A year ago we wrapped.
Okay, so what's happened in between that you can tell us about, and how does this work from a rhythm point of view? I presume they get first call on you if they need you for another series.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's probably true. Annoyingly, I can't tell you the job that I'm doing. I'm doing a TV show.
TV show?
Yeah.
Drama?
It is a drama.
Yeah, this is a dramedy. The one we're talking about is a dramedy, a comedy drama.
Is that what we're calling it? A dramedy, comedy drama. This is, I suppose it's very funny.
Yeah.
It's a big show.
Is it a series or a film?
It's a series. I'm already probably giving too much away. It's a series, and yes, it hasn't been press released yet.
Is it one of the international streamers?
It's a big one.
Oh, it's a big one.
It's a big show. Wow. It's a big show.
And this whole new world of these big TV shows, these sort of global TV shows now. I mean, 10 years ago, this wasn't on the horizon, was it?
No.
None of this was on the horizon. Even with Sopranos was already on, but didn't think this is where it was all going.
Right, it feels like a very different landscape now. Yeah. But I think the annoying thing is it just takes so long for the second series of thing. I was only reading an article today, and they're talking about 18-month wait between a series, or 2 years, or they're talking about True Detective at a 5-year gap between it, and it'd be nice to shorten that and give the audience the series quicker.
I was going to say selfishly for a viewer, because I can't wait for series 3 of The White Lotus, but because they're so filmic, it's like making a film every episode, so it takes longer. Mostly to write, I would imagine.
I think the writing takes a long time, but you just said it. The execution takes a long time too. It's a lot of them are multi-camera, big cameras, big sets, second unit, third unit. Is it like being on a film? Very much so, yeah.
Is it any different at all?
Kind of not, no. I mean, the page count is the same. You might do 2 or 3 or 4 pages a day, like the old school TV, you're doing 10, 12. Even on Poldark, we were probably doing 8 or 9 a day.
And what's going on with the fitness?
What is going on with the fitness? Well, I'm off to the gym after this.
Yeah. What's a regular workout for you?
Well, I bought a Peloton recently. Right. I don't want to be advertising stuff for saying, but yes, I'm a bike. I like that. I like doing weights. When I go to the gym, I don't do cardio, so I have the Peloton in the house.
Yeah, because you can do cardio anyway.
Yeah, and I don't like doing it at the gym. I don't know. I'm just not motivated by it.
I think it's a waste of a visit to the gym. If you haven't got that equipment elsewhere,
do it at home.
Yeah, I think weights for me. Things that I don't want, things that I have trouble doing when I'm on my own. I go to the gym and I go, okay, there's a tribe thing going on here. I'm just going to join in with what anybody else is already doing.
Right. Do you have a trainer as well? Is that something? Do you have somebody motivating you?
No, I just like to listen to. At the moment, Nick Drake on vinyl.
Oh, look at that, Drake! Yes. I love Nick Drake. Which album? 5 Leaves Left.
Yes, of course. Of course. Do you know how crazy is that album?
Oh, it's the best.
I know.
The best. Yeah. Brighter Later. Another great album.
Everything drugs promise.
Right.
But lied to you.
And what a tragic life as well. Like, why hasn't nobody played him yet? Why has that not been? Who has the rights to his film?
You come to my garage, my friend.
Oh my God!
There are several delights there.
Is it?
Anyway, Aidan, thank you, mate.
As always, Chris, thank you.
Thanks for talking about that as much as we could talk about it. Thanks for not telling us anything about what you're currently up to.
Sorry.
And what might you be doing next that you can't talk about?
Well, I'll tell you what I am going to be doing next. I'm going to be working with my friend and a producer friend, Jake Lushington, on his short film. So we're going away to Folkestone on Monday to shoot a short for a week. Brilliant. Then I come back and I'm going to work on this other show in New York. Right. I'm going to shoot it in New York.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, he's got his new friends now. All right, should we have a big end of the week class behind the glass? Round of applause for Aidan Turner.